Hey there. 6:55 p.m. Sunday, July 8th, 2018. I'm showing you this for a reason. 6:56. And that's I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. 6:55. That's I always read from right to left. It's 556. 55 is a double Elder's number, a very strong movement, physical movement. And 6 is the sum of all your intuitions. The sum is 6 is representative of the word intuition, which is basically the sum of all your metaphysical abilities, or what I always call metabilities. This shouldn't take too long. Those of you that'll watch me know it. I talk about a lot of things. I relate things together, and there is repeat in some of my videos, and in a lot of my videos, most of them, of very basic things, because that's some of the basic knowledge you need to understand what the hell I'm talking about. In this one, it's not going to be so much that. I've covered a lot of VT stuff in various videos. I was given a heads up to get some sleep early last night, and I did, because I needed to be at a meeting. So it's something that you all need to know about. So the time I gave you is what I call Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Time in the U.S. Someone actually wrote and said, well, if your information, it's Eastern Daylight Time or something. It's like, hey, get screwed. I don't care. Eastern Daylight Time, it's Eastern Savings Time, Eastern Standard Time, whatever. United States of America, East Coast. If you don't like the way you say it, jump in the lake. Yeah, I have no problem telling people where to go. I'm the one that'll stand in front of a train for you. Make sure it hits me instead of you, or preferably it doesn't hit me, just gets you the hell out of there. Although I've been waiting to get out of this body for a long time. A lot of people think I'm crazy when they first meet me, but there's something about me that it gets their attention somehow, and then sooner or later most people that listen to me, they remember me. They don't understand, but they remember me from past lives. They remember me from when they were their real selves, not stuck in a body. That's why I almost always receive nothing but smiles when I meet supposed strangers, because they're not. I know all of you. I call myself the old fart, because I am. When you came out, I was there. Anyway, we had something neat happen that's going to become physical evidence for you before too long. Who knows, 15, 20 years. For some people, it's already something coming in. Since I finished writing the last book of the creation series, the last volume of the creation series, there's been a few things that have happened, and I'm not going to rewrite the book to add it on there. I'll just make the videos, and that way you have the information. This morning I had 2 serious heart attacks, and yesterday I had a real bad one. I should say real good one. I'm anxious to get out of here, but I'm close. Almost. Finishing up some serious issues with the house. Now that that's happening, I'm hurting myself more inside to let me know it's about there. I've had some heart attacks, but nothing like what I had yesterday. My heart stopped, just knocked me down, and it was wild. Anyway, those of you that know me, you've been listening to me for a while, you understand what's been going on. All right. I've told you, it's in the books, but I've told you in videos, and I've showed you the timestamp, and that's why I did it. Jay thinks everything he says is so important, there's got to be a timestamp. No, I do it because I want you to know what I said before what. Whether it's me learning something for myself, or whether it's me telling you about things that are happening, you have a timestamp. If you find out that there was a council of ETs that was put together, and I told you about it the day after it happened, and you find out that, yes, that's the day it happened, what do you think? Jay's cool? No. Jay's awesome? No. Jay knew something. Something was going on where he knew that. He has an end somewhere. It's because I can see, and that's what I want you to do for yourself. That's all it is. Simple. I'm going to pour myself a drink in a minute. I don't try to promote drinking or anything. But it does. I quit taking my heart medication a long time ago. I went out of this body. And the pain's getting kind of crazy. Anyway, there was the council. There's the Federation of Planets that was just other people had left it. A new one was formed called an Alliance of Planets. And then after that was formed, then there was there's an Earthen Alliance that was formed, and then also the Alliance of Planets became the Alliance of Life. When spirit from the other side, which is actually the second dimension, that's where all of us live when we're not in a body, when they had seats, 2 seats at the councils, at the physical body councils, I told you we were all going to come together. I've been saying it for years. And on that video, you have a time and day stamp. Guess what you're going to find out? I'm no better than a stick in crap, but I'll tell you what, I am what I am. And you don't have to believe it. Doesn't matter. Love you anyway. What I have to do is leave the information for you. So there was an alliance, there was a council that was on Saturn. And it was literally... literally controlling all the major events that were happening in this solar system. The ruling families on the ruling Anunnaki families on Earth, they answered to them. Oh shit. Anyway, there's stuff going on in Saturn. They had issues. Something didn't want them around. And it was spirit. And Saturn, this council, got taken out by spirit. Nothing in the body. Killed the crap out of them, blew up the heads. First it was a leader. Then came back later, and then it was everyone except for one person. He's a really cool dude that has a job, and he's like an outside representative. He's like an outside representative for everyone in the council. He's a good man. He can be trusted. These other folks could not. Anyway, what the old council was doing is controlling viciously what was going on in the solar system. There's been mining going on Mars for a long time. There's been all kinds of stuff happening. The center of the action happening, which is the new freedom that's just becoming in creation, is right here on Earth. But we are not the center of everything. Everything exists as a whole. But for the solar system, Saturn is the right place to have something that's going to be, to have a council that's going to be responsible for coordinating the basic activities of necessity for the solar system. Excuse me. Little Crown XO and little Pepsi Ray Charles. Anyway, medical supply for the Earth, mining rights and restrictions for Mars. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on Neptune. You find out about that later. Neptune's got a big history, long history. Jupiter and its moons. So mining going on really close to the center of Jupiter. About 3/4 of the way in. Right at right at 3/4 of the way in to the depth of it. It goes in like this and then comes out and then it levels off where they're mining. That's all being minimized. Saturn's location. I was looking at it. I said, why do they want to go back to Saturn? The old development that was there. It has an inner level where it's cut through the stone, and then they had a huge dome over it, over this whole, kind of like a crater in it. But it was a weird crater. It was deep. It was like big in size, but then it went in deep. It, it wasn't just a little divot. Anyway, but I just looked at it and I said, man, it's centrally located to activities, and it is. If you look at Saturn, if you look at the large masses of solid matter that orbit our sun, let's see, let me open this up. There's let's see, 6, 12, there's 13 main rings going around, orbital rings going around the sun. Most of them are planets, some of them are just solid mass. The planets are Mercury, then Venus, I can't even see this thing where it's covered up. Mercury, Venus, of course, Earth. We got Jupiter. We got where's Neptune? It's hard to see with this map that I just got. Neptune's covered with this thing. It was a astrological chart that they had in there. And then anyway, then you have 6 rings in there of planets, except for one, and that's Ceres. Right outside of Mars, the next orbit outside of Mars, there's a large spherical type mass called Ceres, Ceres. I brought that up. I can't remember. 2016 maybe. I think that's 2016. Ceres is that orbital mass that's where the Drak had set up the main, it's not a generator, but just the equipment, the apparatus that generated the force field. It's energy field, but it's a force field with the help of others. They're not satellites, we'll call them orbiting satellites of some sort, that allowed them to put a force field around through the solar system just after Mars, just outside of Mars. And that was, you couldn't go through there. You needed a passcode in order to get through it. And that was usually supplied by the Nantids. And nothing was allowed inside or out of it. It was a solid barrier. That's when I told you you're going to start seeing starships crashing and coming out of subdimensional orbits and stuff. And I even did a video about it. I actually showed you in a couple of videos where all of a sudden it started happening. And that's why I show you this little timestamp thing, is because that's when it's happening. You need proof. There's so much crap on this internet today. There's good stuff too, but man, the stuff that they have is insane. There's little kids playing, people who want to be something to me. I don't give a crap. Here's the information. I gotta go. And then anyway, so Ceres is not an actual planet. It's not considered. It's funny that it's not considered a planet, as well as 4 other bodies I'm going to mention in a second. And it's not. To a scientist, a planet has its definition. It's something about a being of a certain size or mass, some way that they actually declare it. But as far as spirit goes, okay, and more scientists understand what the hell I've been talking about now. Scientists, neurologists, psychiatrists, genetic scientists. These people are starting to figure out I'm not some goofball. I'm here for a reason. And they say they have a good understanding. They have issues with me. And then now they're just waiting to see what happens. They haven't bothered me in years. And of course, they never really bothered me. Just watching me broke into my house once. Thought they were smart. Anyway, so with what a planet is a large mass, or it's a mass of material that has planetary essence spirit within it. That's what a planet is. Okay. I see solid mass, I understand it, but I see energy, I see spirit, I see frequencies. Energy is energy. Sentient energy is called spirit. Anyway, so Ceres has never had and is not planned, it's not lined up at this moment to have planetary essence within it. As a matter of fact, I can tell you it's not. So anyway, it's one of the orbits around here. After Saturn, there's 6 rings, so there's 6 orbiting bodies, and then there's Saturn, and then there's 6 more orbiting bodies. So this the one orbiting body before Saturn's orbit, that location in orbit, that's not a planet, is Ceres. And then after that, it's Make, M-A-K-E. I don't know what that's about. Another one is Haumea. Then Pluto's out there, which is not a planet. And the other one is Eris, E-R-I-S. But, there's mining and stuff that goes on in these other places, and starting to. Eris, there's a fight waiting to break out about that, about mining rights on Eris. And not a battle fight, war and everything, but it's a scuffle trying to happen, that's about to try to happen there. As soon as it does, it'll be put down. And that's the farthest one away from the sun. Anyway, turn that off and close this laptop. So Saturn's kind of in the middle of it, and What this meeting was about is to cement who's going to be on this board, who's going to be the folks that work around the board that are like the actuators that get something done. The board could be like a council. That's kind of an overused word, whatever. They're going to literally run the basic daily happenings of our solar system. Daily, that's kind of the wrong word. On a daily basis, they'll be keeping an eye on events that happen in our solar system. And you'll find out later that's where it's going on. Won't be for a while, but you will. The people that listen to me, you're finding out ahead of time. You might tell your children, and then when it happens, if you're not still here, your children will have already told their children. They'll know for themselves and about that. Dad had access to what? Some great psychic? Hell no. It's information. Like I said already, like I've said before, we're all a family. None of us have to sit down at the table and hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but it's important that we know of each other, of each other's existence, who we are, the different dimensions. That's why these books are so important. And those of you that haven't, you will you will find out when it's time, when it's right for you, how important that book is to you if you want to wake up. Folks, there's no such thing as put these two fingers together, and now those two fingers together, now cough and sneeze, and you're a super psychic. There's no such thing, and there's no such thing as a psychic. Everyone has metaphysical abilities. And no one's any better than anyone else. Not me, not anyone else. You know, I don't know how to express my place in all this, and I'm not concerned about it. I'm concerned that I just do everything I need to, and I got a mess on the other side I need to clean up. And I am so close to getting there. But it's important that I leave you everything possible to help you find yourself. And the most important thing, and the first thing, is the easiest and hardest thing there is. Both. It's called relaxing. This creation was made so you could almost never relax. You have to you have to create a desire within yourself, a calm knowing that this is what you actually want. You have to let go of all the bullshit that you've been taught that other people dump on you. That's why it's good to find a quiet place and just be calm. Take a couple nice, full, natural but full breaths, and just relax. What's relaxation? When you can breathe in, breathe out, and just not care about stuff. You got to let it go. Take a 5-minute break. That's it. Take a 5-minute break to be who you are outside of this reality that you're temporarily in. You're in reality, but you're also the true reality is much more metaphysical than it is physical. Slur. Anyway, this, and back to the Saturn thing, it's like a commerce distribution, a commerce center, a commerce nexus, a distribution center. There's governmental type councils, groups, that are over there. There'll be a military, a large military outpost there on Saturn. So, and the Drakh will always be down here. So, and this happened last night. I don't know when, about maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or something here in the U.S. I can't see it. I'm trying to look, and I just, you know, and about the time and that's all you need to know. And the reason why I wanted you to know that is so you know that I knew something, and you or other people will understand that getting these books I wrote are gonna help you become yourself, understand yourself, understand what's going on. What's been going on around you all the time for a long time. That's basically, I just wanted you to know that that was going to happen. That, well, actually, that it did happen. And the organization is set up, various councils plus the main council that controls the, it's more like a big business. It's not like a government. It's how this new alliance of life, and it's called, like I said, it's called the Alliance of Life because it's not the alliance of just planets anymore. There's spirit. You, when you're not inside body, the male and female on the other side that are sitting, literally sitting as energy at a table with you. Folks, you've never had access to this. This has never happened before because the original first being wanted total control of everything. Your origin, where you came from, who you are. This is a new creation is being developed, and it's already, the biggest part of it has already happened and just needs to be set in stone, and it will soon, very soon. So I wish I could give you a date. I can't. Never cared about making up lies either. That's kind of stupid, isn't it? Why would you make up a lie? To sound cool, to sound intelligent, to get people's attention? For what reason? I've been called probably just about everything in the book, and I don't care. Nobody can do what I've done. I've proved it. There's more proof coming out. But not until after I get out of this body. But I've already left enough proof. With doctors, scientists, geneticists, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychologists too. The psychologist doesn't have the degrees that the psychiatrist has. Anyway, that's just some extra information that's not in the books that I wanted you to have. I know there's some of you still trying to get a hold of me. It was hard enough to try to get not to try, but to make this video. Just trying to get it going. It's crazy. I can't hardly walk at all anymore. I weigh almost 400 pounds. Man, it's wild. My cirrhosis is terminal. it's putting so much pressure on my enlarged heart. I keep getting more heart attacks. I've been waiting to get out of here for a long time. I ain't crying, man. I'm really close. I'm almost done with what has to be done with the house. Everything else is handled. So I can get out of here and go to work. I'm glad I'll never be in the body again. That's enough. And my job demands that I don't. Good. Awesome. But anyway, I've left you enough information. You can walk down the road, feel energy from stones around you, pick one up, and guess what? You got a nice stone, a nice buddy. You feel the energy in there. Marble can help you solidify your spirit. Concrete, a little piece of concrete, kind of makes you rigid, firm. There's all kinds of stuff. Plastic, that won't do you any good. Steel actually helps strengthen out some frequencies, can make it help make it flow a little bit, and it can give you a certain kind of power. Silver makes energy really move fast. Fluorite helps energy release itself. It's kind of like helps energy just move more freely. There's all kinds of information you can learn just by going to the websites, reading about those spheres, the stones that are in the spheres. I do need to do a video about the spheres. That's the most understood, and those spheres I make and Deanna makes, and other people will be making them. The ones that Deanna and I have made, there's only one thing, that's one stronger tool. The strongest thing you can do, the most helpful thing you can do for yourself, other than get a serious crank up, like a DNA ICUC, those things I used to do, is to get a sphere. You put it on your night table next to you in bed, and while you're sleeping, it's making you stronger. It's cranking you up, clearing out your core, your chakras, the different, what they call chakras, the different energy points, energy focal fields through your body. So it's got everything else beat, binaural beats, all this stuff. Nah, that does just a very little bit to one small part of your brain, and it only goes so far. I love these huge round ice cubes. When you start, they take up most of the glass, but then they come down. Anyway, I will get another video out to explain the spheres. Some of them that are healing, when you put your hand out around it, let me see if I can do something quick. Well, can't do anything quick anymore. All right, where's one I can grab easy? Okay, there isn't. Okay, here. Oh. This is a pineal sphere. Damn. All right, you can't see that. Let's get that up in the air. I'll just do that now. The sphere video thing. See if that works. Not quite. Almost. I had a Those of you that also have lung disease, you can appreciate what it's like, excuse me, to fight for every breath. Almost. Here we go. All right, now, if you look at a sphere, you're seeing pure copper sheeting. Tell you right now, it's a thousandth of an inch thick. And watch it, you can cut yourself. Then I put stauresonite in the middle of it that I've cranked up, and it literally cranks up the energy in other stones, makes what their output stronger. But when you put your energy near it and you get near stauresonite, it's a generator, a power generator. Now, okay, now how does a stone generate power? And can you run your house on it? No. Does it make power? Yes. Electricity? No. Spirit is power. You have power in your body. You ever wonder, how does your autonomic nervous system function? How do your lungs keep breathing in and out? How does the heart keep beating? Why does it happen? When we build something, don't we have a battery? Well, y'all running around with a cord stuck in your ear or something? Hell no. How does it happen? I'll tell you how it happens. Your spirit and your body runs your body. Damn. Simple, ain't it? Guess what? Like everything else I'm telling you, it's all true. It goes into the brain, moves around, it takes care of certain things in different places, and then it goes through the body, the core of your energy, the reserve that keeps flowing. It's like a power generating point, and the control point is in your brain. Then you have different energy fields throughout your body and different organs that are used to run energy through, certain energy through, and perform a certain function. The pineal gland helps you see multidimensionally. The scanner, this lump right here in your head, where the forehead goes up, and then the top of the roof, the top of the skull there, that part in the middle where it meets, that's your scanner. You usually have a lump there. That's where the remote viewing happens. You can listen to other people. You can spend the rest of you and everyone else on the planet's life watching David Wilcock. You'll never find out about it. Anyway, I love David, but I just can't handle him. Can't handle what he's doing. When we're in a body, we go through hell. All that stuff's in the books. Why things happen as they do. When we're not aware of something, we're ignorant. That's an innocent thing. I'm ignorant of a lot of stuff. Good, I don't care. I'm not here to do everything. There's no way that can even happen. But I know what I know. People who want to doubt will never tell me different. I mean, they can talk their mouth, but they're not telling me nothing. Anyway, give me just a minute. Poor Deanna yesterday. She was right next to me when my heart just stopped. froze up, had a seizure, and it stopped. And she was looking right at me. It's hard for her to go through this. Me, I'm happy. I'm ready to get out of here. I do have to finish what I'm doing here a few more days. Okay, shit. A few more days. That's a little reminder for myself. Anyway, okay, we're all happy in there. Okay, well, with the, I better get going with the sphere stuff. Well, to finish the other thing, the spirit running the body, the pineal gland is developed in such a way that when certain frequencies are put through it, it allows, even though you're stuck in a body, it allows your spirit to go into that and to come out and be able to see things multidimensionally. These bodies were made to be jail cells, traps, the perfect containing, torturing receptacles for you to be pushed through a life in. You can't get out. It's like being in a car that's going 160 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. You can turn the wheel, hit the brakes, the gas, nothing matters. You're on a ride, okay? It's not quite that bad, but in the end result, that's exactly what's happening. You're not in control. You can control little things yourself, but you're not in control of what happens to you and around you, or some of the things you do. Spirit goes into the hypothalamus and takes over and runs you. Anyway, the stuff about how the body works, stepping back, taking one more step backwards, that's in book 3. It's not cheap. No matter where you get it, it's over $80. It's been large. There's some people buy it through Amazon.com, but there's some companies that buy large amounts of it. We buy large amount of books. You'll never see them on Amazon, but the publishers sell a lot. Anyway, I mean, the books are on Amazon.com. You can buy them there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you look at that, it looks like we don't sell books. We do. But that's really neither here nor there. It's this information is good for you. If you want to wake up, if you don't waste your money. Everything you could want to know, all these different things, the Ouija boards. I mean, that's just little tidbits. That's what I call them. Tidbits of information. There's a chapter on them. But I cover all kinds of stuff. Now back to the spheres. These stones are all very expensive, fine stones. Most all of them are gem quality and AAA quality stones. Some AA quality. They're all cranked up by myself in Indiana, and that's source energy. Okay. There's other source people that'll be or are cranking up spheres and selling them. But we're the only ones that are selling the spheres that we crank up. These things, if it's heart, if they're heart spheres, like heart physical healing, when you put your hands up like this and start getting, this is too close, but we're dealing with the limitation of this, the way the video's set up. The max power spheres, if you relax, you can put your hands out where they're out here and you can feel the energy. You feel it in your palms. You might feel heat, tingling, okay? And then you're going to see it when you relax. I just relax and I see the different orbital, it's like an orbital shell. You know, there's shells, round shells of energy that come out of, that emanate from the sphere. It's energy coming out, but there's layers like an onion or something, okay? But they're spread out a lot more than that. Lots of times with the physical healing sphere, it's just one of them. When you go and put your hands near it, you're like, wow, I don't feel the power. And then it's not till you get real close that all of a sudden you start feeling it. Well, why is that? Well, gee, there's not a strong sphere. Yes, it is. You're putting your energy into it and then you get healing that comes back out, but you're pushing more of your energy into it for healing yourself. That's why it's almost like once you can relax enough, you're going to feel it almost sucking you, kind of sucking you in there to it, because you're putting your energy in there as close as possible to get as close as you can to the healing energy of some of the stones in there. Green chalcedony, chrysoprase, peridot, all kinds of stuff. The star essonite. The max power spheres and the max power full body spheres, the dragon spheres. These things are nuts. Some of them I put dambrite in. We got a dambrite sphere, very high vibration. That's what this is right there. Dambrite. Beautiful, strong, and a ton of it. That stuff's expensive, but you know what? It's awesome. It's extremely high vibration. You put that with some selenite, you're going to feel that go through your body. You hold them individually, you feel them, you're going to feel the vibration. You put them together, always hold them through the fingertips of your hand. This is some rather unique fuchsite with green aventurine that we had gotten. There's very little left. It's incredible stone. It's healing, but it solidifies your whole core. Hold it with the fingertips like that. When you do that, energy goes in the left side of your arm and into your core, and then it does the same thing with the right hand. Goes down and goes into the core, and then it goes up and down the core. This is the fastest way. This is the fastest way for you to ever feel any stone, period. I put lapis on my forehead, I feel it right away. No, that's not how it works. That's not how energy flows in and out of your body. No, Jay thinks he knows so much. Well, how does he know? Because I see energy. I've been going into people's bodies for, 12 years, 10 years? Doing stuff, cranking up people's brains, doing it professionally or whatever since 2013. But I've been doing it a lot longer than that. I just found out I had to come up with a lot of money to keep my house. Anyway, those max power spheres and the other ones I was talking about, if you go to thespiritualfoundation.com, it's closed right now, but you can see the spheres there. They work. Everything that works, I made it for you. It's not free, but I made it for you, okay? There's not much free. So, it's like when I get anything done in the house or anything else for Deanna and I, we find people that know what to do and we pay them good money. And then they do the work and we take care of them again after that. I'm a giver, I'm not a taker, but you have to survive. The thing is, these spheres too, they last forever. Forever. You don't charge them up. No batteries. What I was talking about a generator in the beginning of this conversation about spheres. What's inside the star essonite is part of Gaia, the first planet that ever existed. Her universal essence mate, she was planetary essence, female, and her universal essence mate is male, which means he goes into stars, so he's star essence. His name was Raul. So Gaia and Raul. He was a strong sun. He was big, but she was a huge planet. I think 270 times the mass of Jupiter. 240, 270. I can't even see right now. I'm fading away, and I'm glad I am. I think it's 270 times the mass of Jupiter. Anyway, fracking huge. Come on, throat. So, with Gaia, her planet being so big, when you put your energy near hers, you're wanting to access her energy. That's saying, hello, let's get together. So then you put your energy into the sphere. It goes through the copper into the star Essenite and the stuff there, and then she makes a direct connection with you, and then she starts flowing inside your body. She is so strong, so powerful, that she literally starts pulling in more of your own personal spirit that's out floating all over the place, pulls more of it inside you, just to keep your spirit bounced out in your body. That's how big and strong she is. She's known as the mother of planets. Why? Because she's the biggest one. She's not the mother that gave way to, that released parts of her to be the other planets. No. She's the biggest planet that there's ever been. She's the strongest planetary essence. And so that when this happens with her inside you, and then she pulls more of you in, the core of energy that you have going through you. People just call it a kundalini. It's not, but you know, again, I've put out videos and stuff about this stuff, written books. We're not going to talk about that, and I got to go. I feel like crap. But your spirit core, the inside you, the reservoir and the power, it's like a power plant, but it's not a power plant, it's just in there. It gets over 10 times stronger, over 1,000% stronger, while that stone energy is there from Gaia. Plus, star Essenite has star in there. It's got roll. Part of that, you know, he's the first sun. Gaia was the first planet. They're spirit mates. So not only do you have all that going for you, but they're balanced together. What's moonlight? What is moonlight? How does moonlight move water, tides, blood in the body? Surgeons prefer not to do surgery when it's a full moon because the blood flows more. That's because what moonlight is not actually moonlight. It's there's not spirit in the moon. The sun hits the moon, and then it bounces off the moon, reflects off the moon, and goes through Gaia's loving energy and hits you as very soft energy. When the sun hits you direct, it can cook you. But when it's bounced off the moon, it's softer. And then a cool night air, and then you have Gaia's love that's in there, and then that's why moonlight is so beautiful. That's why the moon has the power to move stuff. There's gravitational, you know, force and everything in there too, but it's energy. What's gravitation force? It's energy. Where does that come from? Gaia. Now there's the thing about rotational mass, you know, that has something to do with it. Yes, but it's like the origin of these bodies and everything. Who's right? Is it the religious people? There was an Adam and Eve, and all their kids got kinky. They had a bunch of kids. They all got kinky with each other and committed sins against this God that made them, and that's how we have everybody. Okay, a few holes in that. Then there's Darwin. Yeah, we all grew from apes. No. Now, there is a group of people who are here, I'm not going to mention their name, who are very good with genetic splicing and stuff, that literally have been working with apes, that family, and human, drafting their DNA together, and in which they eventually stopped, but they did that over time. And that's why you have some of those skeletons hanging around in caves and stuff of apes that had changed. It was what these folks developed, and I'm not gonna, like I said again, I'm not gonna tell you who they were. That's not being allowed anymore. It was the Adamics that came here, and as well as all the other, they came here as spirit, made their own bodies, and then you have all the other people that were colonizing this earth from Some of the most popular, the Pleiadians, the Andromedians, all over the place. I don't want to go through the list, and I just started my second little drink, so no, I'm not trashed. I'm sick. So anyway, put that over there. The things aren't like what you've been told, but once you've got the information, it's so easy to understand. You wonder why you couldn't. Why didn't I know this before? Well, the original first being male and female, who put those wonderful angels on you that Sylvia Brown told you about. Well, what she wasn't aware is that they were made to control you too. If you're going to get hit by a car and you weren't done with that cycle in that body, and you didn't receive enough abuse to make your spirit grow within it yet, then literally they would save you. If it was time for you to be hurt, they'd break your arm. If it was time for your body to die, they'd kill you. They'd kill the body you're in. Not you, but the body you're in. If it was time for you to receive more hard duress, you could have your house could light up on fire as a child, and everyone be dead except for you, your little sister, and your dog, who was half burnt to death. And it's just so funny. Those are the people that go around and say, "God save me." No, you were given that to torture you the rest of your life, to give you the responsibility of taking care of your sister, and to watch the poor animals suffer. No one suffered like animals. That's why all the animals are leaving. It's about to happen. Animal essence isn't going to animal bodies at all anymore. It's down to about 1 a million now. Every million animals are born, one of them has animal essence inside. And that's only because of something they needed for themselves. But anyway, so star energy itself, when you're nearest, back to spheres, when you have the sphere near you and you're putting your hand in there, you're also asking the star energy to come into it, to come into you. It comes in and goes inside you and gives you about a 300% increase. Star Essenite will give you, unless you're hurting, it won't. If you're hurting, it's not going to do it to you. We're talking about sentient beings, that their energy's inside the stone, and they're outside, and they move their energy into the stone and then into you. The stone is the medium through which this happens. Okay, the wiring. And if you're sick, they're not going to power you up. They'll give you what you need to help. People who want to stop smoking cigarettes, to get off drugs and stuff, Star Essenite will build up your fortitude, make it stronger. It will help you. You don't pick up Star Essenite, put it in your pocket, and all of a sudden you don't want to smoke anymore. You want to smoke, you want to smoke. So you're going to smoke. The thing is, getting to the point where you understand that you don't want to smoke anymore. Once you get to that point and you're trying to stop, put some Star Essenite, or 10 or more grams of tumbled Star somewhat tumbled Star Essenite in each pocket, one on each side of you. It'll help the hell out of you. So that's why these spheres are so important. Anyway, and when they're like the max power spheres, like I said, you can feel them out here, and then you slowly go in there. You can feel pressure, you can feel warmth, you can feel tingling, you can see it in your mind. You just see it because you know where it is. The more you learn to relax, the more you open up. Your abilities are there. They're very weak as far as what they can be. They're weaker than what you can develop them to be. It's like barely having enough muscle to be able to walk, and you can turn yourself into an athlete. With most people, a little over 4% of the population A little over 4% of the population is awake right now. 100 years, it'll be 40%. But all those other people, that other, what, 96, 95 point some percent of all the people on this planet, they're not awake at all. Their abilities are extremely weak for them, you know, except for a few individuals here and there. So that cranks up the max power spheres, crank up all your body. While you're sleeping, it does it naturally. Clears out your chakras, your focal energy points. Energy focal point, excuse me. But you can also call it focused energy points within your body. It's just whatever wording you want to choose. And Deanna will be making some of those soon. It's been a tough ride. That's why the store's been closed for a little bit. That's not, well, for a bit. That's not forever. Okay, I'm going to run. If you can get one piece of information out of this that you didn't have before you listened to it, then you got something out of it. You did not waste your time. If you want to have something continually helping you, especially when you're sleeping, how much time do you lose having a sphere near you when you're sleeping? I can't use my right hand right now, my left hand right now. 0. So, anyway, sometimes they pull you in, or you eventually feel like they're pulling you in. You might feel it right away, you might not. Everyone's made of different frequencies. These stones that I put in there, the combination, the energy that I put in it, not just cranking up the stones, but the energy that I personally put in it, my source energy to apply to you, they're awesome. Nothing will make you any stronger except for a crank up. And those will be happening again soon. I'm sure they're still going on with some other folks in Source. Right now, things are really nutty. If you have a big business, say Xerox, and the top 100 managing people of the mighty Xerox company are on a retreat, and the volcano explodes, the island breaks up, and everybody dies. What happens to the functioning of that company? What happens to the organization, to the organizational continuity of it? Poor words, that's all I got. The people that were in the lower fields of management, they have to step up, and they have to learn more about how to make things run. And chances are they're going to have some better ideas. Who knows? It all depends on what you had to start with. But there's going to be chaos for a while. Well, the original first being male and female are dead. Been dead since May of 2013. Everything else that was out there that was big, wanted to run everything, that was a problem, wanted to keep this creation in its format of abuse, they're dead. So now you have all these trillions of these other players standing up, wanting to take care of things. Well, most of them are dead. So now it's a matter of something coming home and just saying this is how it is, and it's about there. That's how things get easier. All anyone has to do for themselves is just start trying to relax, feel who you are, and open up. And when you do finish this life and you go home, it's gonna be something you've never thought was possible. When you're out of your body and you remember who you really are and what your real life is like, remember this is temporary. Then all of a sudden you're going to be like, wow. And what's coming for you here in the physical body soon, and it's really more for, unless you're young, it's going to be more for your children and their children, or councils. ET, with other folks and beings from other planets. We call them ETs, but all of us from different planets. There's councils now with people from the other side. You when you're not in the body. That's how you bring unity to creation. That's how you create a creation that has no lies. Little teeny little lies between people and bodies, all that stupid stuff, yeah. But the truth of what is everywhere. All of a sudden it's going to come out. And then you have lives doing what would be best for you. No one's beating you up anymore. As soon as it settles, it's almost there. So that's the new creation coming. But there's a whole lot of details and everything else. I explain how it all happens in book number 3. There's so much information. There's well over 500 pages. There's a reason why it cost $88. I think Amazon has it for 82 or 3 or something. So there's a lot in there. And it was all designed to give you the information you've never been able to get. No one's ever brought this to you. No one ever, anywhere. You've never been given access to the information to the truth of what's going on, who you are, where you came from. You've never had that. It wasn't allowed because the original first being, male and female, wanted you to be in their servitude. You came from them. They felt they owned you. They beat the hell out of you every time you were in a body to make your spirit stronger, so the two spirit mates would get together at the right time, go into a universe of their own, and release a third of their energy. When two spirit halves are together, it's like you might want to call it giving birth, whatever. It's just releasing a third of your energy. You can release less, but you can release no more than that. Otherwise, you lose your own coherence. And then it's like a wave of energy, like water being poured on top of a car hood. And then all of a sudden, it's a sheet of water, and then it starts to bubble up. It's like that too. You have orbs. A field of energy slowly, as it moves away from itself, it starts developing into orbs. And those orbs then start coming together as a singular unit. They have their own frequencies, and then they literally vibrate and separate into two different parts, which we call male and female. Other than tell you about stuff as it happens, if it's important, I've done everything I can do for you when I'm stuck in a body. And I'll be out soon. Question is, what do you want to do for yourself? I don't matter. What I am is so strong, nothing can ever hurt me. Nothing. I'm no better than anything. But I am what I am. I have a job, I do it. I have love for everything that is. Some people don't like it. Whatever, they're entitled to do that. Love them. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. You're a fire engine. You're a fireman next to a fire engine, and you're hooking up a hose and getting ready to run out there to put a fire out in a building. A little kid comes up, says you're using the wrong hose, and you look at him like, whatever. You just keep doing what you know you're doing because you know you're right. I've never mattered to myself. That's why I always give away almost everything I have. I'm not worried about it. I understand the end of the cycle. I just want you to know who you are. Those of you that are really feeling sad about yourselves, you shouldn't. Look in a mirror. Look at your face. You see yourself, then look in your eyes. That's who you really are. The face you see, that's the car you're driving, that you're trying to drive. Actually, now you are pretty much driving it yourself. Used to be it was driven for you, but not anymore. All those folks doing that are gone permanently. Cannot come back. So, those of you that had a lot of love, you've been given, most all of you have been given lives where that heart is crushed. One event after the other, that's going to be stopping. It's already in progress. Have faith in yourself. You have love for other people, start with who you are in the mirror. Start loving who you are. And if you don't think you're worth it, you're wrong. I don't like the word wrong, but you're incorrect. You've been taught when you're in a body that it's wrong to love yourself. Really? If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn the other cheek. What are you doing? Teaching me to be submissive and get my ass beat? If something was worth your praise, if something was really anywhere near that cool, number one, it wouldn't want it. Number two, it wouldn't allow it. Simple. Simple as an old fart in overalls. That's what this is all about. You understanding more how to become yourself, you learning how to appreciate who you really are, and for me to kill all the stupid stuff and get out of here. Kind of funny. And for me to write the books, leave you the information, and those are my family members that are here that have a part of me in them, and Lily, and other parts of Lily and Arae. Crank them up, make sure they're strong enough that they can do this themselves. So when I leave, it wasn't just about Jay cranking up other people, it's about all these other people cranking up other people. Appreciate yourself. Redefine what you allow yourself to do, who you allow yourself to be. What other person can you be other than who you really are? How you feel inside. That's you. Everything else is what other people want, what other people expect, what you think you need to do to make them care about you because you have so much love in your heart, you love other people, it's nice to be loved, but the way life is set up, it's all a mess. Well, that's changing too, it just takes time. Meantime, just be you. And if people don't like it, fine. Maybe do what I do. Say, hey man, love you, take care. So, somebody wants to get in my face, they got a bad day coming. I don't care. I do everything I can to help people, but somebody wants to really be stupid, I give them stupid back, but I give them 10 times what they give me. Somebody was screwing with me and something going on here at the house. And that was being done on the other side, trying to keep me from getting out of here. Everything's a brand new $10,500 AC system I put in. There's problems with it. It's leaking out, and I'm getting. I see what's happening. I look at what's happened. Who did what? Look at the people who installed it. What's going on in their lives. I know who's being manipulated and who manipulated them. But this guy was kind of trying to get in my face. And I'm like, it's a no-no. He owned the company. Well, he had a little accident. I didn't do it. I did not do it. It's like when I've been around places, my energy moves things around. It's not me. It's not my conscious mind doing it. So I don't take claim to it. But he's hurt. He hurt his leg real bad. It's real bad. Something about a roof incident or something. But he thought there was a problem and I was going to pay for it, and I paid premium dollar. But see, this stuff happens, it's just wrong. There's no such thing as perfect. There's going to be mistakes along the way as creation changes, but it'll start out as much better and keep getting better. So there's no such thing as perfect. Folks, I got a bad feeling I'm about to shut myself down. So, I've always enjoyed talking with you, trying to tell you what's going on. It's what I like to do. It's serving. Some people get mad what I do for other people, whatever, but I do what's natural to me, and I know it's a positive thing. We're all a little different. But if you're not hurting yourself or someone else, and you're not messing with other people, and you want to do something, hell, do it. I mean, and be careful when I say that, be careful about what you're putting in your body. I'm not talking about drugs. Keep yourself as clean as you can. And the more weed and stuff you smoke, then the worse your abilities are. Okay, it fogs up your mind. When I go into people and crank them up, I can see that. I see it. I can tell if you're taking pharmaceutical chemicals from a doctor, you know, like something you get from a doctor. I can tell if you're taking street drugs. If you get stoned, it doesn't matter. I don't tell anybody. And if you know, you already know, and I don't care, other than I want you to take care of yourself. Doesn't matter. But I've had people that were really taking hard drugs, and this one lady was a junkie, and I saw it, and she said she wanted to try to clean up. You know, she wished she felt better, so I started cleaning her blood, and she ripped her hands away. Her arms were burning, she said, and her whole body started hurting. So I had to let loose. It was cleaning her up. All of you have incredible abilities. Anyway, folks, look, I love you, man. Take care, try to find a way to have a good one, and don't let anyone stop you in becoming who you are. If someone has a problem with the new questions you offer yourself to reestablish the creation that you live in, and the body that you're in, and who you are inside, and what you can do, there's things we can do and can't do, all of us. If someone doesn't want that to happen, take a look at it and try and think why. Lots of times they're afraid. There could be an innocent reason for it. But those people that want to come out and get negative, man, just turn around. Don't turn your cheek and let them hit it again. Just leave. Tell them to buzz off, whatever you want to do. Don't hit them. Just for you, man. Folks, I love you. Take care.